Hello, all of you fellow salespeople. So I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm going to be giving a little presentation today that is based off of the book by Dave Logan, Tribal Leadership. And I've got kind of my own spin on it. I'm going to call it Tribal Leadership, Conviction, and Countenance. The conviction and countenance part kind of stems more from my personal belief of how having a lot of conviction for the things we're selling, and also our countenance and our demeanor when we sell, how those things are actually some of the pivotal items that will help to raise our level of tribal leadership that we have. And you may not understand exactly what I mean by tribal leadership right now, but hopefully you will by the end of this. So tribal leadership kind of goes through 5 different stages. So number one of tribal leadership is understanding what a tribe is. So a tribe is a group of people that you associate with, that you work with, that you hang out with, whatever it might be. We all exist in different sorts of tribes. So for an example, us as a sales team, we are a tribe. And based on how this person acts or this person acts, it's going to affect how I personally act. And so stage 1 of tribal leadership is called despairing hostility, and the theme of it is life sucks. Okay. Stage 2 of tribal leadership is the apathetic victim, and the theme is my life sucks. Stage 3 of tribal leadership is the lone warrior, and the theme is I'm great and you're not. Stage 4 of tribal leadership is tribal pride, and the theme is we're great and they're not. Stage 5 is innocent wonderment, and the theme is life is great. Okay, so I kind of want to describe to you what these different levels mean. So despairing hostility, which is the lowest level of tribal leadership, this would be a tribe that exists in, say, a jail. You go to a prison, the groups that hang out, the tribes that are there, they are in despairing hostility, and they probably could all agree that their life sucks. It's just life sucks. Stage 2 of tribal leadership, if you've ever seen The Office, Dave Logan, he describes that stage 2 is kind of the environment that The Office, the TV show with Michael Scott and all of those guys, are in, and it's the apathetic victim. So it's a level up from life in general sucks, which is how someone in a prison might feel, and you've now narrowed it into my life sucks. So the difference is that I'm able to kind of see that people are having a great time, that people are successful, but I feel like I'm a victim personally. My life kind of sucks. And that's how a lot of the characters on The Office, you can tell they feel. They're not really taking control of their life or anything. So stage 3, the lone warrior, is I'm great and you're not. Okay. Now, the way that this applies to, say, us as a sales group is really important, because I think that we as a sales group exist almost 90% of the time in stage 3. So we're not in stage 1 or 2, but we are in stage 3 pretty often, and that's I'm great and you are not. Why would this apply to a sales environment? Well, it's a very competitive environment. It's an environment where you're trying to outplay the person that is next to you. And so it leads you a lot to I'm great and you're not. Okay. So my purpose of going through this presentation is I want us to figure out how us as a sales team could level up from a level 3 of I'm great, you're not, to level 4. Okay. Now level 5 is kind of far away. We hopefully will get there occasionally, but I'll kind of go over that. So level 4 is tribal pride, which is we're great and they're not. So instead of I'm great, you're not, it's we're great and they're not. This is a really powerful shift in my opinion, because when we are saying I'm great, you're not, it's a personal thing. I'm thinking about myself and myself only, and I want to beat the person that's next to me, even if they're on my same team. That's why it's I'm great, you're not. What I want us to do is I want us to be collectively thinking of our teammates' successes as our successes. I want us to think about our success as a team as the most important thing, even if I might personally not be having success. I have seen a lot of very successful teams that live in stage 4, and they all are celebrating each other. They are culturally at a much higher level than we currently are. And so that's my goal, is for us to kind of figure out how are we going to get into level 4 as opposed to just sitting in level 3, okay? And stage 5 of innocent wonderment, life is great. The author of Tribal Leadership, he even says that people don't stay at level 5. They actually will oscillate into level 5 occasionally, and then they'll come back down. And so it's important to realize, I think maybe we win a big competition and we just feel like we're on top of the world. It's at the point where we're not even saying we're great, they're not. We're just saying life is great in general. We're not even thinking about our competition that we just beat because life is so good how it is. And a really key point to stages 3 and 4, you'll realize, is having a common enemy. And I actually really don't think there's anything wrong with targeting the people that we want to be as good as or better than and trying to beat them. So the little shift I want to make is, instead of you thinking, hey, how can I be the best on our team and beat the person next to me? I want your mindset to go to, how can our team be the best in the company and how can we beat this team next to us? It's going to change our perspective into helping each other rather than just helping ourselves. Hopefully that makes sense. So how do we bridge the gap more between stages 3 and 4? And this kind of goes into what I was talking about with conviction and with countenance, okay? So the question is, how do we have a lot of conviction for what we're doing? We have to be knowledgeable about our product, okay? And we also have to be knowledgeable about our team and what we're striving for, okay? Because if we have a lot of conviction for what our team stands for, then we are going to do everything we can to go have success and become great and have our teams that we're going up against be beat. So the main way we do this is by establishing our core values as a team, okay? So I've done a lot of surveys. I've kind of narrowed it down based on all of your responses, and our core values are fearlessness, optimism, resilience, integrity, and accountability, okay? So fearlessness implies we're not scared of anything. We're not scared to talk to anybody, which is important in sales. Optimism, you guys have seen how one negative person can really impact the entire team. Resilience, I love the word resilience because it implies that we had a failure and then we bounced back. Resilience isn't necessarily just putting our whole heart into something. It's failing at something and being resilient and continuing to go. Integrity, being honest. In sales, people are always bending the truth. We need to be upstanding, honest in our work. Accountability, this takes us from I'm great, you're not, to we're great, they're not, because we're holding each other accountable. That's a really important part of this. If you're thinking I'm great, you're not, you don't want that person next to you to be accountable, because that's just going to increase their success. You want to beat them. But if we think we're great, they're not, it's going to help a lot having us be really accountable, okay? So that's how conviction for our team can come from our core values. So I want everyone to have conviction for those core values. I also want people to have conviction for what we're selling. So if you don't believe in what we're selling, come to me. We'll go over the product so that you can really believe in that, because conviction corrects your tone a lot of times. A lot of times you might not know exactly how to say a certain thing, but if you have conviction for it, it will correct your tone, okay? Now, the last thing is countenance. Why is countenance important? I want you to think of people that you just trust in your life. A lot of times it's not what they're saying, it's just who they are. You can feel it. And those feelings come from the decisions that that person is making in their daily life, okay? And I want you to recognize that the things you do when you're not working are going to affect who you are when you are working, okay? Now, one of my favorite quotes, it is that success does not come from the absence of failure. It comes from going from failure to failure without any loss of enthusiasm. And it's impossible to do that without having a really solid, strong demeanor, okay? So I believe that conviction and countenance can really help us to become the people that we want to be. so that we can level up from a level 3 to a level 4 of tribal leadership.